The scene is Emilia-Romagna, in the north of Italy, on the border between the provinces of Reggio Emilia and Parma. This is where the Apennines meet the plain of the River Po, close to the foothills along the valley of the River Enza, in the territory of the municipality of Canossa. The Campotrera Cliff Nature Reserve is located here. Established in 1999 with the aim of protecting an outcrop of volcanic rocks of particular interest to conservationists and nature lovers alike, the nature reserve is located in the lands of Matilde, which are home to the Rock of Canossa and the Rock of Rossena, with the Tower of Rossanella. One of the places of greatest international renown and landscape beauty in the province of Reggio Emilia. In a territory steeped in history, dotted with ancient villages and medieval fortresses, the cliff hides behind its own immovable nature. It is something special and much more dynamic than one might imagine.
It's autumn, and the cliff of basalt rock with its somber tones almost seems to blend in with the colors of the season. Nature is getting ready for winter, but at sunset, the cliff still releases the heat of the sun accumulated during the day. The cliff of Campotrera has a fascinating history, linked to the geological events of about 150 million years ago, which led to the formation of the continents. In that era, the land that had risen from the seas was fused into a single supercontinent called Pangaea. This mass gradually started to break up into huge rafts, which, over tens of millions of years, formed the current geography of the Earth. The word eruption summons up images of fountains of incandescent lava and columns of ash and vapors which rise skywards. However, in this case, we have to turn our imagination towards an underwater eruption. Incandescent lava released into the sea undergoes very rapid cooling. In this way, a kind of large blob of lava is formed, the surface of which hardens instantly, forming a thick crust. Geologists call this a lava cushion. The continuous outpouring of lava causes the crust of the first cushion to break, forming a second cushion. Little by little, the cushions accumulate and gradually form the structure of a volcano. In this way, around 100 million years ago, the cliff of Campotrera was born. It is a remnant of a much larger blanket of lava, which, over tens of millions of years, has been progressively broken down by geological forces. In fact, after the formation of the Apennines, the volcanic masses that had erupted in prehistoric times, known as ophiolites, were intensely fractured and subjected to considerable displacements in a southwesterly-northeasterly direction. In Italy, there is a coordinating body for protected ophiolitic areas, of which the Campotrera Nature Reserve forms part. Other ophiolites are present, in particular in the Ligurian and Parma Piacenza Apennines. The cliff of Campotrera stands out for its love of travel. In fact, it is one of the fragments that has undergone a major dislocation, reaching as far as the edge of the Po. It now lies more than 100 kilometers from its original area of provenance, the ancient Thessis Ocean Ridge between Paleo-Africa and Paleo-Europe.
Water, ice, wind and sun have performed their tireless work over millions of years. The clay soils have undergone a progressive and unstoppable erosion, as the spectacular karst landscapes of Canossa show. Meanwhile, the volcanic rocks, which are much harder, have gradually emerged to the surface. For this reason, the ophiolites of the cliff of Campotrera, especially on its southeastern slopes, are characterized by steep and dramatic vertical walls. The cliff has not completed its travels alone. The same phenomenon, albeit less spectacular, is also evident in the other ophiolites that surround it. The cliffs of the Castello di Rossena, the cliff of Rossanella, and other minor outcroppings. These travelling companions have made us a gift of a dramatic landscape that contains some true pearls, even if that is not their real name. Indeed, fractures encrusted with spectacular minerals have taken shape within the magmatic masses with the formation of druse. The cliff is internationally renowned for the crystallizations of datolite and prehnite. And is the only location where a pink-coloured variety of datolite has been found. Samples of the mineral are preserved in the nearby Tower of Rossanella.
Several million years have passed since the cliff has been definitely located here. Now the days are starting to get longer, heralding the arrival of spring, and around the cliff, nature is preparing for its renaissance. The extremely arid soil strongly influences the vegetation, creating the necessary conditions for the presence of rare species used to surviving in extreme environments. The cliff of Campotrera is a genuine rock garden for herbaceous species of scientific interest. One natural curiosity is the compact prickly pear, commonly known as the dwarf Indian fig. This plant has adapted by evolving small dimensions and is widespread on the more sunlit slopes of the cliff, where it normally bears fruit. In such places, a characteristic herbaceous layer exists, dominated by succulent plants with a prevalence of species belonging to the genus Sedum. These plants are specialized in coping with periods of drought. Their leaves have evolved to serve as small water storage tanks. In spring, it is possible to witness spectacular blossomings that bring out the true beauty of the natural landscape, presenting a sharp contrast to the somber tones of the cliff. Particularly striking, also in terms of their extent, are the flowering of Helianthinum, Spanish convolvulus, and melic grass. The undergrowth conceals the dogtooth violet and various species of orchids. And, close to the clay slopes, in contact with volcanic outcrops, there are numerous examples of the rare Campharosma,